afternoon, and thank you very much for logging on to Great Television. Today, the 23rd of February, 2018. And today happens to be one of the greatest day ever in my life. You get to know the details. But you're welcome to G News in brief. In today's news, the headlines: scandal hit Australia Deputy Prime Minister to resign. And in our second story, I inherited a broken country, says George Weah. I will join my son in jail, Doom pastor's mom declares. And then in ECOWAS, President Akufo-Addo, who happens to be the president of Ghana, says ECOWAS must achieve single currency by the year 2020. And in our final story, Trump endorses guns for teachers to stop shooting in schools in America. And as I said to you yesterday, we'll be having an extended version of today's Genius in Brief, still in honor of this great evangelist, Billy Graham in America, who was called to eternity just a few days ago, turning 99. Now, the details of today's Genius in Brief. My name is Jeremiah. Scandal hit Australia Deputy Prime Minister to resign. Barnaby Joyce says he will resign as Australia's Deputy Prime Minister following a politically damaging saga that began with his affair with a former staffer. Mr. Joyce said he would step down on Monday as the leader of the Nationals and the junior government partner. He had previously resisted calls to quit amid intense scrutiny over his ministerial conduct. The scandal has dominated Australian headlines for more than 2 weeks. He described his decision on Friday as a circuit breaker for his family and the new partner. I inherited a broken country, says George Weah. Liberia's new president, George Weah, has said he inherited a country that was actually a very broke country, depleted, a political malfeasance was all over the place. A report by the AFP news agency. The former footballer, who is currently in France, said he ordered a complete audit to make sure that what belongs to the government goes to the government. Speaking on his first official trip abroad as president, he said healthcare and education are all lacking in the country, Liberia. One woman who also supported the son by saying that I'm going to join my son if he is jailed. I will join my son in jail, Doom's pastor Moms says. The pastor alleges that the Doom insecticide can heal people with cancer and HIV. The mother of a South African self-styled prophet who sprayed his followers with the insecticide Doom has said she would follow her son to prison if he is jailed. Lethobo Rabalago, widely known as the Doom pastor, was found guilty of assault earlier this month and has not yet been sentenced. And his mother, Evrista Rabalago, also told the magistrate court in Limpopo province that she couldn't face being without her son, and that if her son is jailed, she is going to follow the son to prison. In our next story, ECOWAS must achieve single currency by 2020, says the President of the Republic of Ghana, President Akufo-Addo. The implementation of the single currency for the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, targeted for the year 2020, must be met without fail, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo said. Delivering his welcome address at the 5th meeting of the Presidential Task Force on the ECOWAS Single Currency Program held at Accra International Conference Center, President Akufo-Addo said that the structure of economies bequeathed to West Africa by the colonists was aimed at servicing the colonial masters, essentially raw material producing and exporting economies. In our final story on today's Genius in Brief, the 23rd of February, Trump endorses guns for teachers to stop shooting. U.S. President Donald Trump has said arming teachers could prevent school shootings like that which left 17 people dead last week in Florida. A staff member with a gun could end an attack very quickly, he said. Mr. Trump floated the proposal as emotional survivors of the 14th February massacre employed him to make sure something similar does not occur again in the country. The Republican president also backed calls for improved background checks on gun buyers. Other survivors, meanwhile, lobbied Florida lawmakers on gun control as well. We'll be back shortly with the other story making news across the continent with evangelist Billy Graham, whose death is gone viral and everybody is talking about it.